Batman, old boy. This is quite the dilemma, isn't it? Do you save the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped, or the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped? Personally, I go see Eddie's latest contrived death gauntlet. I'm sure he went to a lot of trouble. Besides, you can't save all of Barbara. I killed half of her already.
A challenge in the Cauldron Train Yard. Fine, Nigma. I'll play your games, and I'll win. Selina's life depends on it.
Control Falcon 4. We've got something. There's a body strung up on a rooftop in Bristol. Over. Damn animal.
Can you believe it? I was at Blackgate, the Asylum, Arkham City. Never seen Batman. Not once. Just lucky, I guess. You'd have thought regular people would have figured it out by now. Laws don't protect them. Never have. These days, we got more rights than victims. It's crazy. Strange was actually doing them a favor with Protocol 10. And what do? Kill him and pay us damages. Who says crime don't pay? Some kind of fight going on over there. That's kicking the crap out of him. Kill him! I'll grind you into the ground. I think Riddler's gonna kill Batman and Catwoman tonight. Maybe he really is a genius.
Ah, Detective, you arrived! I thought Catwoman's little predicament might encourage your participation. I realized, you see, that the kind of image-obsessed narcissist who places bat symbols on his hubcaps would never willingly submit himself to the kind of humiliation I have in store. Yet, here you are, Detective. The humiliation is waiting below. Well then, Detective, it begins. You are staring, with stupefied incomprehension, at a mechanism I have calibrated to respond to an extremely precise radar pulse. In a moment, I will give you the decrypted code, Dark Knight. Oh, but first, I think we should run through the ground rules for tonight's festivities. Rule the first. You will address me at all times as Riddler, the Riddler, or Mr. Nigma, sir. Otherwise, Detective, I expect your patented brand of churlish silence. Rule the second. All gauntlets, cowl-integrated microphones, and other communications devices, bat-themed or otherwise, are to be switched off prior to the start of the test. Should you be caught using any of these, you will be expelled from the course. Rule the third. The use of purpose-built riddle-solving equipment is strictly prohibited. I am familiar with the contents of your utility belt, Detective, and I will be evaluating any sudden additions over the course of this evening most suspiciously. Rule the fourth. In the event of fire or flood, I will be on hand to guide you to the nearest emergency exit. Assuming, that is, you are not too proud to follow my advice. In that eventuality, we will consider your stubbornly prideful suicide an admission of defeat. Rule the fifth. Do not ask for clues. Rule the sixth. Should I, in my exasperation, choose to provide you with a clue, hint, obliquely meaningful insult, or any other form of assistance, you will not ask for further elucidation, but instead thank me for my kind generosity, whilst adhering to the forms of address outlined in the very first rule. Rule the seventh. Bathroom breaks will be administered on a discretionary basis. Should we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in your arduous journey to self-realization and defeat, I expect you to hold it in. Rule the eighth. Any accidents resulting from my strict enforcement of the seventh rule are to be considered your fault entirely. Rule the ninth. You are required to recite back to me this full list of rules at any moment I request. Again, keeping in mind the naming conventions I outlined in the very first rule. Rule the 10th. I, the Riddler/Mr. Nigma, sir, reserve the right to add or announce further rules if and when they become necessary. Yes, I know what you're thinking, Detective. Mr. Nigma, sir, knows how to meticulously structure a good time. In any case, Detective, I'm getting rather tired of the way your stupidity forces me to outline the basics like this. So here's that code you've been waiting for. Let's see how long it takes for you to figure out how to use it. What? How did you solve tonight's very first riddle? Well done. Welcome to my racetrack, Detective. You must complete 3 circuits of this gauntlet, finishing each before the time limit expires. Come now, Detective. Let's put that grotesque ego-mobile to the test. Be ready, Dark Knight. There's more to this test than just going vroom, vroom, really fast. Would have injured someone whose skull wasn't so thick. Can that ramshackle motor handle this? Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours.
I'm disabling the afterburner's failsafe. I need the extra speed.
Filtering synapses keep up with my automatically adjusting course? Don't get too confused. Now, right! Dark Knight, is that really as fast justice it goes. Let's work that undeveloped brain of yours. Hurry up, detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more! Oh, detective, what's that I hear? Is it time winged chariot hurrying near? Do you even know what a racing line is? Dark Knight. That looked like it hurt. Did it? Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. A failure. You're too slow, Dark Knight. In every sense of the word. Come on, detective! Back to the start of the course! Back to the start of the course! Batman, don't waste my time. There's so much I could be achieving with it. So much. The next lap, now! Lap has some ingenious innovations! Why the delay, Batman? It will not get easier, and I very much doubt you're going to become any more capable. Another attempt? My, but you're optimistic. Now pay attention, detective. Go left. No, Batman, you can't drive through solid objects. It's really basic physics. If you can't understand the intellectual virtues of completing this trial, Batman, I'm not going to explain them to you. Hurry up, detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. A quite stunning failure. Not fast enough, detective. Any idiot could do this if he had all day. If you're feeling vainglorious enough for another attempt, Dark Knight, you must trundle back to the start of the course.
Of course.